Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As you can see by the title of today's video, here to rate my subscribers' builds per position. So, in this comment thread right here on Twitter, I asked for every position, point guard through center, and for people to submit it, and I would pick the best ones at each position, and I'm here to showcase those to you guys today. So as you can see, about 84 different submissions, some with a little bit lower quality, and that's why we maybe passed over them a tad bit, but also just maybe lower quality builds too. And I'm here to showcase the best at each position. Now, I technically have 8 total builds right here. I doubled up on some positions because I just wanted to give a little bit of extra love to some of these builds because some of them did look really cool, but we'll explain that there are some doubled up positions essentially. So like I got 2 centers, for instance, 2 of other positions as well. So we're gonna have a total of 8 builds in today's video. So anyway, let's get straight into this. So I'm gonna go, just from bottom to top in the order that I like them, not in order of like point guard to center or anything like that. This is probably gonna be the best way for me to possibly view it. So I do still hope you guys are gonna be able to see everything clearly and very well. But anyway, let's get straight into this. So the first one that we have right here is gonna be a popper build that can still, shoot while still having dunk as well. Now, I gotta talk about this build because there is one specific thing about it that I really wish he would have changed, and that would have been the 87 driving dunk. He has the vertical and everything for the contact dunks. He's got every really good threshold after that, like the bronze anchor with the 61 interior D. That's even the thing too, it really could get shaved down to 61 and probably be able to get that dunk with a couple other very minor up, like, tweaks and stuff like that. But when you review this build in total, it does still have 70 layup for like the gold pro touch, all that stuff, the bronze fearless finisher, etc. I guess it would be really nice to get us a bonus layup on something like this, but obviously it varies based on being starter 3 or not. But besides that, obviously, you look at everything else here. Really good speed for a 7-footer at 68. That's really good for being a footer. And then you combine that with having like 93 O board, the 90 strength, you get the Hoff box out beast, the immovable enforcer, the brick wall, all that stuff on gold with, like I said, the Hoff box out beast on Hall of Fame. Good vertical. A good ability to still dribble the ball as well. When you combine that ball handle with the speed with ball, in the acceleration you'll have big driver and all those other like key big man dribbling badges. It's not going to be great for SIGs, but it's still very movable 100%. Now if we pan over the builder over here, as you can see, we have shaved off just a couple ratings, like useless things. Like he had post control kind of high for no reason. If I go back and look at it myself, it was a 37 post control, so we just had kind of 7 attributes on this for no reason at all. And then also had 5 more close shot rating as well, so he had a 65 close shot when he didn't really need that at all. So those are a couple minor shaves that you can make on this build to maybe be able to afford that driving dunk rating. And with a couple minor little tweaks to the free throw rating, as you can see, boom, there's your 87 right there. And I gotta say, that's a very big difference. I really do think, I know badge wise, look at 86, you can see all these things going up, like whistle, 2-step, bunny, posterizer, all that. But having a contact dunk package is extremely important when it comes to the driving dunk aspect of this stuff. I understand you can still get some driving contact dunks, the big man contacts, but it's not going to be as reliable as it should be, in my opinion. And then obviously you can make a couple minor like tweaks to try and get that 90 free throw back for the 3 points gold if you would like. Totally understood. I will say 90 pass act is a kind of interesting threshold to go for because 91 can get you some other stuff too. But given that you can't really get bailout or anything like that, I usually put 91 on my builds, but that's because they're 6'10", and with 6'10" comes things like, let's say, needle threader or bailout and stuff like that going up a tier. At a 7-footer like this, 90 is pretty acceptable. As you can see, that's the threshold that's giving you post playmaker and touch passer as well, and then 89 being the one that gives you the halberd. So it's a really good build overall. I just would say a couple minor tweaks here and there would be pretty smart. I think dropping that into your defense a tad bit, the close shot and the post control, boom, you get your driving dunk right there, and now you're looking really good with a multitude of different things this build is good for. This is a really good center build right here. So anyway, shout out Paranoid Duck right there. Moving along, we have a power forward build right here. So going ahead and full screen in this, as you can see, he's a 6'8" playing back end in Pro-Am, 87 Perimdi, 89 steal, so that's still good enough for that gold interceptor. You combine that with the gold challenger as well, and then still the silver anchor, gold chase down kind of thresholds that you want to shoot for right there. Hoff box out beast, 93 D board, the gold rebound chaser and all that stuff as well. Good strength to match for that box out beast. Solid vertical on the back end as well. He still keeps the fast feet with the 70 acceleration. I mean, it's a super well built power forward build right here. Now here's where the concern comes from a little bit. So we don't have a max 3-pointer build right here, obviously. It's 86 mid-range though, so you get the good jump shots, you get all the good badges and stuff like that too. I just think it's kind of, odd to not max out your 3-pointer on any build. I think the differences between 76 and 79 as far as just the 3-point rating performance could be worth just having that fully invested in. But I do understand we're already shaving off a lot on this build. Now, I also understand that he is a power forward, and that's probably allowing his weight to be higher. But if you were able to make this build at a small forward, let me double check that real quick and check the height and requirements and stuff like that. So just to pan over here, you can indeed make a 6'8", 248 small forward. You can make it 250 if you'd like as well. And making it a small forward allow you to get that normal dribble style instead of having basic as this build right here does. Let's pan back to that. So remind you, if you are not a small forward or shooting guard, you can't get pro or normal dribble style if you have this low of a speed with ball. You could go for the 40 speed with ball, and that would allow you to get that normal dribble style, which is way better, bro. I'm telling you, like, I understand you guys might not think it's that big a deal. You're like, this is a power forward build, this is the lock, like, you don't really need that type of ability. I'm telling you, coming out the corner with this type of driving dunk ability and having this ability to shoot the mid-ranges and stuff too, you can absolutely get weird out the corner, I'm telling you. And that's what would be very nice about this normal dribble style is, A, for, you know, random things like doing the blowout dribble coming to the court. That's just kind of more for fun, but also just the left-right aspect that it brings to the like half-court sets where you can just catch the ball, move to your offhand, move to your offhand, move to your offhand. I mean, it's actually very capable to do, and I would value that over the ball handle being 40, but I know that gets tied to pass act being 75, so totally understood. And I guess that's the other concern you would have about a build like this is that the pass act is kind of low for being someone that's probably grabbing a good bit of defensive rebounds, so the outlets are going to be pretty rough, but you have to take a hit somewhere, and I actually do like the idea of taking the hit on the pass act to be able to afford things like the anchor. Debatably, I'm a still pretty big fan of the bronze anchor and like the silver chase down threshold of that 78 block, but 87 for a back end is understandable for sure. And then obviously, you know, he has good vert, good strength, all that, good speed, good excel. It's a really well built build, not to mention the fact that it gets some pretty good standing dunks, and again, the dunk meter capabilities that you'd have on something like this. It can get really weird coming out the ISO in the corner. I'm just telling you right here, the guy who made this, let's see, it's Marchant. If you were to have recreated this at small forward, you're going to be looking a lot better with it than the power forward, in my opinion. But I totally understand the dynamics and the politics to this whole, you know, 2K Pro-Am community stuff. You kind of have to make builds at a position because that's the position you're going to play. Some people don't like that stuff. When you make a build at the 3 and then you want to play the 4, but then when you load up on a team that's a little bit newer to you, you might line up like a different icon, and people are going to be really irritated about that because their power forward is X and their lock is Y or something like that. It's a pretty common occurrence you'd find on some Pro-Am teams and stuff like that. But anyway, next up, we have a shooting guard build right here. So unfortunately, it's not the builder screen, but this will do 100%. So 71 prim D for that bronze challenger. He's got 89 steal once again for that interceptor threshold. Good speed and good enough ball handle to get that gold speed booster as well. And as you can see, an offensive absolute beast with all this stuff. You may question the whole 36 driving dunk as well, but this is the driving dunk requirement that you need to even just get a package. Now, and that lets you still dunk the ball. I would personally vouch for 40 a little bit more just for the McCollum dunk package. I think it's actually your best bang for buck 100%, but this still gets rim grazers, and it's also going to allow you to get the standing dunks to pop off. I believe there's just a thing where even if you have standing dunk at like 65 or something like that, you know, or even 40, if you don't have any driving dunk at all, it's a lot harder to pop off the dunks because obviously sometimes you kind of just drift yourself into a drive and you happen to think you're at a standstill, but you're still technically moving, and that counts as a driving dunk. But anyway, nonetheless, still, as you can see, pretty high layup as well, but that naturally gets put up with the ball handle. So let's just stick to the things that are controllable right here. So you can see the sore thumb on this build right here, you know, is the 67 pass accuracy. I think personally, you could argue probably going down on either one of the three-pointer or mid-range and just, like, let's say drop three-pointer to 92 or something like that and get back your pass act to a more respectable level. But at the same time, 94 three-pointer gives you special things like Agent 3 on gold, you got guard up and space creator as well, stuff like that. And then 98 midi, I mean, let's be real, bro, it gives you the most broken badges in the game. You get Deadeye, blinders, both those on Hall of Fame. I mean, it's some tough thresholds. You combine that with, like, you know, it gives you even catch and shoot. I don't recall if you get Hoff catch and shoot at 94 three-pointer. I don't believe so. I think that might be 95. But anyway, either way, it's a really good build. I actually like the way it's created a lot, but I personally would be really turned off by having that 67 pass act on my team. Personally, it's just, there might be some people that don't care quite as much about that. For me, I gotta get hit a little bit early on the slips if that's the anticipation, because I'm trying to get to that meter dunk before the rotators can get there, and it's really important that the pass arrives early. But again, to each their own, and some people will respect that about this build, some people won't. But truth be told, it's what allows you to get half the stuff we're looking at right here. I also do think, though, to be realistic, you could just take the dunk off and you'd be able to get your pass act back, but some people would not like that either. Like the ability to dunk on a cut and on the break is pretty important to some. So it is what it is, you know. I mean, you have to miss somewhere, and that's what this build is missing. But regardless, 6'6", it gets the T-Mac, all that stuff too, so that's obviously something that's going to have going for it. Shout out to Zach right here too. Appreciate the shout out, bro. It was on the exact same, you know, comment right there. Now, as you can see, this is going to be a little bit problematic, so we're not going to talk about these ones too long. And I believe if I open this in a new tab, I should be able to zoom in on it just a tad bit more. We're not going to spend too much time on this. As you guys can see though, a pretty solid built build at 6'10". This is kind of like a remade version of my point center, and I wanted to show this some love. So essentially what he was able to do with it is still keep the pass act pretty good, still have the ball handle speed with ball and acceleration combo that I normally do, while also getting the 90 strength. He still keeps that Sabonis layup as well with having that 78 plus layup. This one's 79. I would have advised to maybe go either just 78 or 80, one of the two, but either way, keeps that standing dunk at 90. He did only go 94 driving dunk, which I do understand some people may prefer as far as like what they would get out of their 6'10s as opposed to what I do. And as you can see, he dropped his perimeter D down to 71, which, you know, gets you the bronze challenger, but that's it. I make my builds anticipating that I kind of want to play hash D, but builds like this with the block on it still, you can still play corner 100%. So it's obviously meant to play corner D, and then obviously can, you know, function in the pick and roll aspect of an offense while also still having that put the ball on the floor kind of hybrid ability to it. So I did want to show him some love, but obviously the screenshot's a little bit poor, so we are not going to spend too much time talking about this. But either way, good rebounding thresholds, good block, all that stuff, the interior D, everything he needs for it, and yada yada. I mean, hey, going 71 prim D also makes it so your steal doesn't have to get forced up quite as high either. So it's a win-win. It's just it has to more so guard corner in my opinion rather than the guard hash. Anyway, moving along to the next one, we have a lock build right here. So this was actually very well built again, so I just wanted to show him some love. So it's a lock build that still has pretty decent vert on it, and as you can see, it doesn't have the rebound though. I think like maybe something you could do if you just wanted to kind of attempt to make something that can sort of contribute to the rebound and not be so worried about switching on to centers. If you get 60 D-board, with this level of strength, you can get bronze box out beast and bronze rebound chaser at 60. I think it's well worth going for, personally. It's also extremely cheap on these 6'7s, but I won't harp on the whole interior D thing that we've already talked about. Interior defense is so ridiculously cheap on 6'7s, but some people would not prefer to put even that type of investment into the build. Rather have something like, obviously, standing dunk, which is very cheap as well, these 6'7s, and you know, you combine that with the good strength, the immovable enforcer, good speed, good excel for the fast feed on silver as well, good block for that 87 for like the silver anchor, gold chase down, yada yada, and then we still keep 99 steal, 94 prim for the Hoff challenger. It is lacking in, as you can see, the pass act, ball handle, speed with ball category, but hey, once again, it's a small forward, so it gets normal dribble style, off rip, and then also 87 mid-range. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember if I said that the other build got T-Mac with the 86 rating, and also I don't really recall. I swear I think you need 87 mid-range to get T-Mac, but I could be wrong and it could be 86. I don't remember which, but I just know 86 gives you things like open looks, comeback kid, not that that matters too much, but 87 doesn't really give you any badges or anything like that, so I have to fact check that. I gotta know that for future references, whether T-Mac is at 87 or 86. I don't really remember exactly, but anyway. You get things like the Tracy McGrady jump shot for sure with this 87 right here, and then you got 80 standing dunk looking really good. Obviously, the post control technically could go down one, but I'm guessing, you know, that is just the last little attribute cap that he probably had in his. But anyway, standing dunk ability, driving dunk ability, it's still there. It's a pretty good backdoor option as a lock, and then obviously you're gonna have point guards on you, so that standing dunk will apply. And yeah, I mean, it is once again lacking pass act, but who really cares at lock if we're being completely honest, in my opinion. I mean, you got a lot of the stuff that you need out here, and I would have maybe just advised to have the 60 D board is my one modification I'd make on this. But anyway, moving along to the next, as you can see, we're gonna have another lock build right here. So this one was also a 6'7", but it's made in a little bit of a different way. It's very similar to what I kind of vouch for. So this one had the low vert with only 77 block, but because of the low vert, you can't really get the silver chase down anyway, so he just settled in at that bronze anchor. That's all he was going for. Now, also, you could, once again, make the case for he didn't need the speed with ball. You could just leave it low because you're a small forward and you don't really have to put it up or anything like that. Anyway, as for some thresholds right here, he went with the 77 pass act, bronze needle threader. It's just a nice little thing to go for. It does force your ball handle up by 2, but it is what it is. He also, technically, I think you know, it's funny, I have so much experience in this builder that I know exactly how this went too. He probably had his post control in 92 because he wanted the gold unpluckable that comes with it. And then also, that forces your ball handle up to 42. So I bet you just went up with the pass act to 77 because by default, at 75 pass act, you just get it for cheaper because typically going up to 77 would force your ball handle up, but it didn't get forced up because it already was by its post control. I bet that's exactly how it went. I would put so much on that. But anyway, he goes for the 83 standing, 43 driving. I'm not really sure exactly what 83 gets you because I think it probably forces dunk up to 43 rather than 40. I don't know. A couple lost points probably there, but it's not like the end of the world. And I don't know. Maybe it was something he shot for. I also don't know if 65 close shot gets forced up by anything either here. But anyway, regardless, it looks pretty good in my opinion. I think it's a really well-built lock build. Again, that little like threshold you're going for right here with the 94 prim, really good. 88 interior D, I've already vouched for that a lot too with these 6.7s. It's so cheap, gets you really good badges and ability to just bang out on the interior. Again, 85 D board, you know, you get the gold box out beast silver rebound chaser. You can still, you know, help out in the board situation. And I think for being a lock, this type of versatility is so nice in my opinion. It's so good to be able to switch with your back end. And typically the power forwards can guard ball, bro. The problem is that the lock can never guard the freaking big man, bro, because they never put rebound and they never put like very good interior or block or anything like that. And I'm not here to say that you need interior to play good defense on a big man build, but when you're this much smaller than them at 6'7", you kind of do need it in my opinion. Whereas like a 6'10" or above, like you're probably good with pretty low interior D to still at least contest bigs, and you know, you don't have to worry about the dunk meter unless you're in terrible position, obviously either. But anyway, into the next build, as you can see, we have another center build. So this one was created kind of weird. Let's talk about this a second. So I didn't really know whether to feature this because it's very similar to the other one that we showcased. The other one is technically just better, if you ask me. I mean, it has things like 60 steal instead of 70. 70 is kind of pointless, if we're being completely honest. I don't believe 70 even gets you anything badge-wise at all. Maybe right stick ripper on bronze, I guess. Not that truly matters, if we're being completely honest. And then, again, similar prim D, similar interior, similar block to the one that we already saw before. It's lacking on the ball handle and speed with ball, but yet it has more dunk. It has like 3 more dunk than the other one did, but I think you could just budget things properly, like in comparison to that. I don't think you need to really have some of the stuff that you have on this. So I just wanted to show this as kind of like you could remake it in a lot of different ways. I know some people do shoot for that 92 though, for sure, for the break starter on Hall of Fame. I'm not gonna lie, I think that 90 for a 7-footer is actually a really good play. That's actually very surprising how it works out like that. But anyway, I just wanted to show that. It's not exactly the best build that we had or anything like that. And then we only have one more right here. So once again, we have another lock build as well. And as you can see, this one right here at 6'6", he made it as a power forward technically because the weight has to go higher. And as you can see, you got that 94 prim D, 96 steal for the right stick ripper on Hall of Fame. I don't really care about it personally that much. I think 95 is a pretty good threshold to go for. But either way, it was just an okay, decent build. Definitely not the best. We already showed the best blocks and the best power forwards and stuff like that. This was kind of mid, if we're being completely honest. I don't even know why I liked it quite as much. But anyway, I just dropped a like on it, I guess. And it's not even terrible. I mean, it's still got 90 standing dunk, but obviously that's more for just the X button tendency of it rather than the actual meter dunk. You can meter dunk on these, but obviously you can't get the standing contact or anything like that. And being 6'6", you don't get like the anchor, so you didn't go for block at all. I'm not really sure why I went with the O board. Honestly, I hate to diss him like that, but yeah, I don't know why I even really dropped a like on that. And I didn't even do any point guards for this video. I do apologize to you guys for that if you were holding out waiting for one. I'm not gonna lie, boys, no one really dropped a good point guard build, if we're being completely honest. It was pretty rough. And the only thing I saw was like 6'8" and 6'9" PGs, and I don't really count that in the first place. I have yet to see anybody actually efficiently use one Pro-Am as a PG. I think you have to be 6'6" and below, in my opinion. I know it's, you know, ironic, right? Because the guy that runs the 6'10" point guard is the one saying that, but that's in a different way. It's not like a point guard. That's more of like a, you know, point center, as I've already explained in the past, where it's like a screen setter primarily into secondary ball handler. But anyway, that's all video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try us 1 to 1,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put Laker in the comment search, supports me all the way through. And if you want to be featured on any of these, again, sometime, I may potentially do one that is more of like a fixer-upper video, you know what I mean? Or like House Hunters type stuff, where I'm trying to get people who have really bad builds that need a lot of work, and I want to remodel the build, like really reshape it in the name of what they want to do. So I want people to like post something where the build is bad, and I'll drop a tweet on this like another time if you guys want to stay on the lookout for it and just follow me or something like that. But what I want to do with the next one is I want to post asking for the play style. Like, I need you guys to explain to me the play style that you want out of it, and then post the build. And I'm gonna be looking for some of the worst builds possible and I want to respec it and like recreate it into that play style that you're looking for. So I know at the end of the day, some people make builds that they want just because it's the style that they prefer, and it's as simple as that. But I would like to at least use it as a model to show the revamps of the builds and kind of explain the types of tweaks I would make on something like it. But anyway, we'll stay tuned for that in the future. It's not something we're going to do right now, but that's all video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And like I said, if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. Like always, tries 1,000 likes. Anyway, that's all video. Appreciate you guys for watching. And on that, take it easy, man. Peace.